Admiral Taewon Park stood on the bridge of Earth's diplomatic vessel, the EFS Venture. Through the large windows, the blue-green planet Earth shined against the black of space. 3 alien visitors from the Galactic Federation stood beside him, each looking very different from humans and from each other. "Your world is beautiful, Admiral Park," said Delegate Nor, whose skin sparkled like tiny rainbows when they moved. "We thank you for showing us your orbital stations these past 3 days." "It is our honor," Taewon replied with a small bow. He noticed Nor and the other delegates exchanging glances. "Yet something troubles you?" Taewon asked, knowing what was coming. This question came from every Federation visitor. Nor's 6-fingered hand gestured to the space around Earth. "Where are your defenses, Admiral? We see no shield generators. No weapon platforms. No defense satellites." The translator made Nor's confusion clear. "Even young space-going races build walls around their worlds." The second delegate, a furry being named Lask, nodded. "Our scans show your military ships are strong, but your planet sits naked." Captain Jae-woo Kim stepped forward. She had served in Earth's space forces for 15 years and knew their ways well. "Earth follows a different path than Federation worlds. But space is full of dangers," said the third delegate, Kivu, whose body looked like walking crystals. "Asteroids, raiders, enemy ships all can attack at any moment." Taewon pressed a button on his wrist device. A hologram appeared showing the solar system. Small blue dots showed Earth ships spread throughout. "We know the dangers well," Taewon said calmly. "Which is why we stop threats here, here, and here." He pointed to areas far from Earth. "Not at our doorstep." Nor looked troubled. "But if your forward ships fail, then the next line attacks," Jae-woo said. "And the next. We do not wait behind walls for enemies to test them." Lask's fur bristled. "In the Federation, all 187 member worlds use layered defense systems. Force fields. Energy domes. Automated weapon platforms. This has kept peace for 2,000 years. And we respect that," Taewon said. "But Earth's history taught us different lessons." He changed the hologram to show Earth's past. Images of ancient wars, ships fighting at sea, and finally space battles played out. For thousands of years, humans built walls and castles. Enemies simply found ways around them or brought bigger weapons. We learned that waiting only gives enemies time to grow stronger. Kivu's crystals changed color to a deep blue. "So instead we watch. We learn. We strike first when threats are confirmed," Jae-woo finished. "Our ships patrol beyond our solar system. Our scouts explore even farther. If danger comes, we meet it before it reaches Earth." Nor walked around the hologram, studying it. "Your strategy requires great confidence." "It requires knowing who we are," Taewon said. "Humans do not hide behind walls. We reach out. Sometimes with open hands, sometimes with weapons." The bridge fell quiet. The delegates looked uncomfortable with this idea. In their experience, civilizations built defenses first, then expanded outward. "Let me show you something else," Taewon said, changing the hologram again. Now it showed Earthships helping an alien world recover from a natural disaster. "We don't just fight. We protect. We aid. The same ships that can destroy can also bring medicine and food to those in need." Jae-woo added, "Our ships are not just weapons. They are explorers, rescuers, and diplomats. Because they move freely rather than guard a fixed point, they can help anywhere." "An interesting philosophy," Kivu said slowly. "But what if a threat comes from an unexpected direction? What if an enemy is too powerful?" Taewon turned off the hologram and looked directly at the delegates. "Then we adapt. We learn. We fight differently. But we do not hide." "The Federation Council will find this approach concerning," Nor said carefully. "We understand," Taewon replied. "Earth does not ask the Federation to change its ways. We only ask you to understand ours. As the delegates prepared to leave for their own ship, Lask turned back. One last question, Admiral. What is your saying again? The one your captain mentioned? Tae-won smiled. We consider offense the only defense. A strange idea to us, Lask admitted. But perhaps there is wisdom in it we do not yet see. The delegates departed, talking quietly among themselves. Earth's unique approach would make for an interesting report to the Federation Council. Meanwhile, far beyond the solar system, Earthships continued their endless patrols, seeking out threats before they could ever reach home. Colonel Miho Lee stood straight and proud as the Federation military team walked around Earth's newest warship, the EFS Thunder. The visitors touched nothing but looked at everything with wide eyes. Their inspection had lasted 3 hours already. Please, ask any questions you have, Miho said to the group of 5 aliens. They represented the Federation's military leadership and had come to assess Earth's fighting power. Tralax, a tall cat-like being with golden fur, studied the ship's computer screen. His clawed finger traced over the weapon systems list. These numbers cannot be right, Tralax said. Your ships have almost no shields. Your armor is thin. But your weapons... He looked up at Miho with large yellow eyes. Your weapons could destroy a planet. Miho nodded. The numbers are correct. Earth vessels focus on speed and attack power. General Forrest, a green-scaled reptilian with a decorated uniform, shook his head. His tail swished back and forth, showing his unease. In all my years, I have never seen warships built this way. Where is your protection? Your defensive systems? We believe the best protection is to destroy the enemy before they can fire at us, Miho explained calmly. He had been told the Federation visitors would be shocked by Earth's military design. Major Hyojin Kong entered the room carrying a small device. She bowed to the visitors and placed the device on the table. With a quick motion, she activated it. A three-dimensional map of space appeared, showing thousands of small blue dots scattered across hundreds of star systems. Each blue light represents an Earth military vessel, Hyojin explained. As you can see, we do not keep our fleet at home. The Federation officers gathered around the map with great interest. So far from Earth, whispered one observer, a floating jellyfish-like creature. Some of these ships would take years to return home. They are not meant to return in emergencies, Miho said. They are meant to prevent emergencies by stopping threats before they start. General Forrest crossed his arms. This goes against everything the Federation has practiced for 2,000 years. We build defense in layers. Shields, then armor, then weapons. Your approach puts your people at great risk. With respect, General, Hyojin said, Earth tried defensive strategies for most of our history. We built walls, castles, bunkers. In every case, someone found a way around or through them. Miho touched the map, and it zoomed in on one area. This section shows our scout ships. They travel beyond known space, looking for new friends and new dangers. And this section, Hyojin continued, zooming to another area, shows our intelligence network. We know what happens in Federation space and beyond. Tralax's ears flattened against his head. Beyond our borders? That's concerning. Information is our first line of defense, Miho said. We know about threats before they become attacks. But what if you miss something? Asked General Forrest. What if a threat slips past your scouts? What protects Earth then? Hyojin smiled confidently. We don't miss threats. The Federation officers looked at each other with worried expressions. That's impossible, said the jellyfish observer. No system is perfect. We don't claim perfection, Miho replied. But we do claim effectiveness. In 300 years of space travel, no hostile force has reached Earth orbit. General Forrest walked slowly around the holographic map. The Federation Council will not like this approach. They prefer predictable, defensive strategies. Your hunt and kill method will make many members nervous. We understand, Miho said with a slight bow. Earth does not wish to disturb the Federation. We seek only to protect our people in the way we know works best. Tralax pointed to several red dots on the map. And these? Enemy forces? Potential threats, Hyojin corrected. Groups or species that have shown aggressive tendencies. We watch them closely. You mean you're ready to attack them, Forrest said flatly. We're ready to stop them from attacking others, Miho replied. There's a difference. The Federation team fell silent as they studied the map more carefully. Earthships were everywhere, moving through the galaxy like hunters searching for prey. I see now why Earth has no defense grid, Tralax said finally. Your entire military is your defense grid. It's just spread across the stars instead of around your planet. Miho nodded. Exactly. We prefer to face threats on our terms, not theirs. Different worlds, different ways, Forrest admitted reluctantly. Though I still find your approach dangerous, I cannot deny your results. As the Federation team prepared to leave, Tralax approached Miho privately. Colonel, one last question. These ships so far from home, do they ever feel lost? Forgotten? Miho smiled. Never. Every Earth ship knows they are our first line. They don't protect Earth by standing guard at home. They protect Earth by making sure danger never finds its way there. Tralax nodded slowly. A strange philosophy to us, but perhaps one worth studying. The Federation observers departed with much to think about. Earth's approach challenged everything they believed about security and protection. Whether they would embrace or reject these ideas remained to be seen. The great meeting hall of the Federation Council was filled with worried voices. Over 500 representatives from different worlds sat in the circular room. Many talked at once. Some shouted. Others whispered in fear. Ambassador Juno Choi from Earth sat quietly. He wore a simple blue uniform with Earth's symbol, a circle showing his planet. While others panicked, he sat still, his face calm. At the center of the room, a large screen showed a star map. A red mass moved slowly across it. This was the Voidborn fleet, over 2,000 ships moving toward human space. Elder Counselor Zivan, a tall blueskin being with 4 arms, raised all his hands for quiet. The room slowly fell silent. Friends, this is our darkest hour, Zivan said, his voice deep and sad. The Voidborn have attacked 3 Federation worlds already. Jackson 4, Clendithu, and Vega Prime all fell despite their defense grids. Images appeared on screens around the room. They showed destroyed cities and broken defense stations. Many council members gasped or covered their eyes. The Voidborn ships use a new shield technology, continued Zivan. Our weapons cannot hurt them. Our defenses cannot stop them. A small green alien stood up. What do they want? Can we talk to them? They want our worlds, Zivan answered. They take planets and strip them of all resources. They have refused all communication. Zivan turned to look directly at Juno. Earth sits directly in their path. With no defense grid, they will be overwhelmed. We must prepare rescue ships and aid. Whispers spread through the room. Many glanced at Juno with pity in their eyes. Earth was new to the Federation. Many thought it would not survive its first crisis. Juno stood slowly. The room fell silent again. Everyone watched the human. Earth thanks the Federation for its concern, he said in a clear, strong voice. However, we require no assistance at this time. Confused murmurs filled the room. Had the human not understood? Zivan spoke gently, as if to a child. Ambassador Choi, perhaps you don't understand the danger. The Voidborn have destroyed worlds with much stronger defenses than Earth has. Your planet has days, perhaps hours, before. The Voidborn have never met humans before, Juno interrupted. His voice remained calm but grew colder. While this council talks about rescue plans, Earth has already taken action. He pressed a button on his wrist device. The main screen changed. Now it showed a fleet of ships, human ships, moving fast through space. What is this? Asked Zivan, looking confused. Earth's first strike fleet, Juno answered. They launched 6 hours ago. The entire room erupted in noise. Representatives jumped to their feet. Some shouted questions. Others called for order. "You've attacked them?" Zivan asked when he could be heard again. He looked shocked. "Without Federation approval?" "Not attacked," Juno corrected. "We have begun a preemptive elimination of a verified threat to Earth." On the screen, the human fleet moved quickly toward the much larger Voidborn force. The Federation representatives watched with wide eyes. Many had never seen Earthships in action before. "This is madness," said a rock-like counselor from the back of the room. "The Voidborn fleet is 10 times larger than your force." "Size is not everything in war," Juno replied simply. A reptilian counselor hissed angrily. "You risk all our worlds with this action. If you fail, the Voidborn may attack Federation worlds in revenge." "We will not fail," Juno said. He stood straight and proud. Zivan stepped closer to Juno. "Ambassador, please. Call your ships back. Join our defensive plan. We can evacuate Earth citizens to safer worlds until—" "Earth does not run," Juno said firmly. "Earth does not hide. Earth does not wait for threats to reach our homes. This is what we tried to explain when we joined the Federation. We consider offense the only defense." The room grew quiet as everyone watched the screen. The human fleet had changed formation. Now they spread out into smaller groups, each taking a different path toward the enemy. "What are they doing?" someone asked. "They're splitting up." Juno smiled slightly. "Watch and learn why Earth needs no defense grid." A communications officer rushed to Zivan and whispered in his ear. Zivan's blue face turned pale. "We've just received word," Zivan announced to the room. "The Voidborn fleet has changed course. They're moving to engage the Earth ships." "Good," said Juno. "That was the plan." Zivan looked at Juno with new eyes. "You wanted them to follow your ships? To move away from Earth? And away from Federation space," Juno added. "Into the region we prepared for them." On the screen, the human fleet continued to split into smaller and smaller groups. The Voidborn ships followed, also breaking into groups to chase the humans. "Ambassador Choi," Zivan said slowly, "what exactly is Earth's plan here?" Juno looked at the elder counselor with steady eyes. "The same plan hunters have used since the beginning of time. Separate the prey. Isolate them. And then?" "Then?" Zivan asked. "Then we teach the galaxy why Earth has never needed walls," Juno replied. "Because we are the hunters, not the hunted." The Federation Council watched in stunned silence as Earth's ships led the mighty Voidborn fleet deeper into the trap they had set. Commander Sungoyun stood on the bridge of the EFS spearhead, his eyes fixed on the main screen. The Voidborn fleet filled the display. Hundreds of dark ships moving in perfect lines. They looked like huge black stones with glowing purple lines across their hulls. Each one was 3 times the size of the largest human ship. "Status report," Sungo said calmly. Lieutenant Yunji Bei checked her screens. "The Voidborn have spotted us, Commander. They're changing formation to attack." Sungo nodded. "Just as we expected. Their ships move like they're all controlled by one mind." Captain Krex, the Federation observer sent to watch the battle, looked nervous. His 4 eyes blinked rapidly, and his green skin had turned pale. He had never seen a human fleet in battle before. "Commander Yun," Krex said, "the Voidborn outnumber us 5 to 1. Their shields stopped all Federation weapons. How can you look so calm?" Sungo smiled slightly. "Numbers mean little in space, Captain. And shields only work against things they're designed to stop." He turned to Yunji. "Deploy shadow drones. Find their command ships." Yunji pressed several buttons. "Shadow drones away, sir. Moving into position." Krex watched as small dots left the human ships and disappeared among the stars. These shadow drones were tiny, nearly invisible ships with no weapons. They only carried sensors and were difficult to detect. You're sending out scouts? Asked Krex. Now. The enemy is almost in firing range. Not scouts, Sungo replied. Hunters. On the screen, the Voidborn ships moved closer. Their front line began to glow purple as weapons charged. They're preparing to fire, reported an officer. Let them, said Sungo calmly. All ships, execute Plan Wolf. Krex watched in amazement as the human fleet suddenly broke apart. Ships flew in different directions, seemingly at random. What had been an organized formation became chaos in seconds. What are you doing? Cried Krex. Your fleet is falling apart. No, said Yunji with a smile. Our fleet is doing exactly what it's trained to do. The Voidborn fired their first volley, bright purple beams that cut through space. But the human ships were no longer where they had been. The beams hit nothing but empty space. Shadow drones report success, Yunji announced. Command vessels identified. Sungo nodded. Send the data to all ships. Begin Phase 2. Krex looked at the tactical display with confusion. You're not attacking their main force? Their biggest ships? No need, Sungo replied. The Voidborn are like insects with a queen. Their fleet has only 12 command ships. Without those, the rest become confused. On the screen, the human fleet had formed into small attack groups. Each group now flew toward specific targets, the command ships that the drones had found hiding behind the main Voidborn force. But those command ships will be heavily protected, protested Krex. And their shields. Watch and learn, Captain, Sungo said. The human ships moved with incredible speed. When the Voidborn fired, the human ships seemed to know where the shots would go before they came. They dodged and weaved through space like dancers. Our ships carry minimal shielding, Yunji explained to Krex. So we train our pilots to avoid being hit at all. The first human attack group reached its target, a Voidborn command ship at the edge of their formation. Instead of firing energy weapons that would hit shields, the human ships released thousands of tiny metal objects. What are those? Asked Krex. Simple metal balls, answered Sungo. Moving very, very fast. The metal balls hit the Voidborn ship. Their shields flashed purple but couldn't stop all the balls. Many got through and hit the ship's thrusters and communication arrays. Parts of the ship began to break apart. Their shields are designed to stop energy weapons, Yunji explained. Not physical objects moving at high speed. Across space, other human attack groups used different methods. Some fired special missiles that didn't explode but instead attached to enemy ships and cut through their hulls. Others used powerful magnets to disrupt the Voidborn's control systems. Within 2 hours, 11 of the 12 Voidborn command ships had been crippled or destroyed. The rest of the mighty fleet drifted in confusion, ships bumping into each other as they lost central control. Krex stood speechless. The Federation's strongest enemy was being defeated before his eyes by a force they had thought too small to matter. Remarkable, he finally said. You never attacked their main forces. You never tested their shields directly. You simply removed their brain. Sungo nodded. Why waste lives in ships attacking where the enemy is strongest? We studied the Voidborn for weeks before they entered our space. We learned their weaknesses. The Federation thought their shields made them unstoppable, Krex said. We never thought to look for other ways. That's the difference, Yunji explained. You built better walls when the Voidborn came. We found better spears. As the last Voidborn command ship went dark, the massive enemy fleet began to drift aimlessly. Some ships tried to flee, but human vessels easily caught them. The battle is over, announced Sungo. All ships report minimal damage. 7 injuries, no deaths. Krex shook his head in wonder. The Federation lost 3 worlds and thousands of lives trying to stop them. The Federation waited behind its walls, Sungo said. Earth brought the fight to the enemy. You gave them chaos instead of order, Krex said thoughtfully. Sungo smiled and shook his head. No, Captain. We gave them humanity. And now they understand why Earth needs no defense grid. The Federation Grand Hall sparkled with lights from 1,000 worlds. 300 alien species filled the giant room. Some floated in the air. Others walked on many legs. Some didn't walk at all. But all had come to see Earth join the Federation officially. In the center of the hall stood Defense Minister Jae-hyun Ryu from Earth. He wore a simple black uniform with gold stars on the shoulders. Beside him stood Federation Supreme Commander Thelos, a tall being with blue skin and 6 arms. 4 of those arms held the Golden Treaty, the paper that would make Earth a full member of the Federation. Never have so many worlds gathered for a joining ceremony, whispered one alien to another. Not in 500 years. Earth earned this honor, replied his friend. They saved us all from the Voidborn. Supreme Commander Thelos raised 2 of his hands for quiet. The hall fell silent. Friends, allies, honored guests, Thelos began. Today is not just the day Earth joins our family of worlds. Today is the day the Federation begins a new chapter in our long history. The crowd murmured with interest. For over 2,000 years, the Federation has believed in walls. In shields. In hiding behind defenses and hoping danger would pass us by. Fellows looked around the room. The Voidborn proved this approach has failed. Minister Jae-hyun stepped forward. Earth does not ask the Federation to abandon its defenses. We ask only that you consider a new way forward together. Fellows nodded. Today, we sign not just Earth's joining papers, but a new joint military doctrine. For the first time, Federation forces will train in Earth's methods. We will learn to stop threats before they reach our worlds. He held up the Golden Treaty. With this signing, we become stronger together. Jae-hyun signed his name on the paper. Then Thelos added his mark. The crowd cheered loudly. Earth joins the Federation not as a student, Jae-hyun said when the noise died down, but as a teacher and partner. Already, Earth ships train with Federation crews. Together, we will keep all our worlds safe. After the ceremony, a great party began. Food and drinks from hundreds of worlds filled long tables. Music played as beings from across the galaxy celebrated together. In a quiet corner, Lieutenant Colonel Minji Kwan sipped her drink. She had commanded one of the ships that defeated the Voidborn. Now she watched the party with quiet pride. "May I join you?" asked a voice. Minji looked up to see Federation Admiral Phoebe, a respected leader whose species looked almost human except for their golden eyes and pointed ears. "Please do," Minji said, offering a chair. Phoebe sat down with her own drink. "I've been studying Earth's battle records," she said. "Your tactics were unexpected." Minji smiled. "That's what makes them work." "Your people have a saying that interests me greatly," Phoebe continued. "We consider offense the only defense." When I first heard it, I found it disturbing. "And now?" asked Minji. Phoebe swirled her drink thoughtfully. "Now I understand better. Your philosophy isn't about aggression for its own sake. It's about protection through decisive action." She looked across the room where humans and aliens talked together. Some were already planning joint military exercises. "The best shield," Phoebe said slowly, "is the one your enemy never gets to test." "Exactly," Minji agreed, raising her glass. "To new perspectives." They touched glasses as across the hall, Minister Jae-hyun and Commander Thelos studied a star map together. They marked places where new rapid response fleets would patrol, mixed crews of humans and Federation species working as one. "The Voidborn will return someday," Thelos was saying. "And others like them." "And we'll be waiting," Jae-hyun replied. "Not behind walls, but among the stars." Ready. 6 months later, a new class of ships left Earth's shipyards. They carried mixed crews, humans working alongside beings from 20 different Federation worlds. These ships were faster than pure Federation vessels but better protected than pure human ones. They took the best from both designs. These joint ships spread throughout the galaxy. They did not wait for danger to find them. They went looking for trouble and stopped it before it grew. Pirate groups found their bases discovered and neutralized before attacks could begin. Aggressive species found Earth Federation diplomats at their doors, offering friendship first but showing strength if needed. Word spread across the stars, the Federation was no longer just a wall. Now it had teeth. In her new office on Earth, Admiral Minji looked out at the stars. A Federation delegation was arriving today to learn more about human training methods. "Admiral," said her assistant, "the Federation ships are landing now." Minji nodded. "Prepare the demonstration. Show them everything." As she walked to meet the visitors, Minji remembered the old Earth saying that had shocked the Federation so much at first: "We consider offense the only defense." Now it was becoming the motto of a new, stronger alliance, one that did not wait for threats to test its strength, but rather showed that strength so clearly that few dared to become threats at all. The stars themselves seemed safer now, protected by those who refused to merely defend, but chose to protect. The end.